This portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Lawyer Lisa. Joining us today is attorney Lisa Hostetler Brown to break down an important legal topic that could affect you. Thanks for being here.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hostetler Brown, and thanks for joining me for Legally Speaking with Lawyer Lisa. Today we're going to talk about blended families. There's a lot of them out there, and you might be one of them. It's really important to make sure that your estate planning reflects what your wishes are in the event that something happens to you. This can be a really challenging area because most people haven't really thought through what this looks like if you get sick or when you pass away. So keep in mind that the dynamic of your family may change drastically if you become sick or when you pass. And so building in certain safeguards or contingency planning within your estate planning documents is more important for you if you're part of a blended family. Just like if you are an older individual who's been remarried later in life, you may want to keep your assets separate. You might want your children to make decisions for you. Nothing against your new spouse, but you haven't been married to them maybe as long, and your children are older and able to make these decisions for you. They know your wishes. You need to make sure that you're very careful in your planning to make sure that all of this is dealt with and you didn't leave something out that you didn't think of. So going to an attorney and making sure that you are getting a comprehensive plan is really important. Now, back to my younger blended families. You may consider getting a trust. That's usually a great option for people that have children from a prior marriage or joint children together. It gives you options for how to set stuff up. Who will be the guardian for your children together if something happened to the two of you? If you've got children from a blended family, you might not travel with your ex-spouse all the time, maybe. And so they would take your children if something happened to you. But we still need to plan ahead and make sure that we have many options and agents for down the road planning. I really love it when people who are divorced are still talking to each other and they both want to come in and get their own planning done so it can be comprehensive and the plans work together. That's even great. Now, your estate planning is an important component of your plan for your children. We need to make sure that we have guardianship thought through. You may have some older children that you think would be great for this. We need to talk about that and see if it's really something that they could take on, or maybe there's another family member that would be appropriate for any young children that you might have. You might not want your ex-spouse to have access to any of the funds that you're leaving for your children. That's a common one. We can set up a trust for your kids and make sure that your ex is not going to touch any of the money. It's something people worry about. We can also build in things that will deal with what you think or know might be a problem down the road. Sometimes people are worried about their family's access to their kids if something happened to them. Well, there's ways to set up your assets so that there's more of a chance that what your wishes are will actually happen, versus just leaving this stuff to chance. There's a lot of really important considerations in this area, and so really thoughtful planning is an important component to planning ahead for your blended family. You don't want to leave this one to chance. And one last thing I'll tell you is that when you're setting up your trust, you may want to do a separate trust or separate estate plans that will ensure that your children will take even if you're the first to pass away. One of the things we've seen in older estate planning documents are married couples who it's their second marriage, they have kids from a prior marriage, and they have wills that leave everything to the other, and then in the event that the other passes first, it goes to their own children. Well, as you can imagine, when one passes, everything goes to the spouse, and then under that spouse's estate planning documents, it all goes to their children, effectively cutting out all of the children from the first spouse to pass away. I am sure this is not what they actually intended to do. There are much better ways of dealing with this, but simple estate planning like this is not going to get you the result that you want. So make sure that you engage in thoughtful planning in this area. Thanks for joining me. I'm Lisa Hostetler Brown, and this is Legally Speaking with Lawyer Lisa. Look forward to seeing you again next week.
Our thanks to lawyer Lisa for sharing her valuable insight today. If you'd like more information or have questions on the topic, be sure to reach out at the website or the phone number on your screen. This portion of Living Local Carolina is sponsored by Lawyer Lisa.